This is the Des Moines Baking Show, and I am your host, Pastor Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. I would like to show you what we're doing today. We are preparing the communion elements in the baking of bread. And Westminster has been so blessed for so many years to have Ruth Carey making all of the bread from her kitchen. But because I've been watching the baking show for so long, I'm trying to one-up her. And one way is to make sure that my bread is even more spongy, to use a Brit term. The thing about preparing for communion is making sure you do it before Sunday worship begins. You cut the different pieces of bread, or you can even tear them off. You can choose bread, but make sure it tastes very good. That's one of the joys about having it. There is nothing worse than a stale wafer. We really enjoy our bread at Westminster. Now, if someone has a gluten issue in your family, then be sure to have gluten-free. And you can get that in crackers, or you can get that in other bread that you can make yourself. But have it prepared so that you're ready when communion begins. But that's just half. The other half is, what do you do with the cup? Have a little cup for each person. I like using a glass one just to make it more regal and sacred in that moment, but you can use whatever you like. In church, we use grape juice, primarily because we want to be respectful of those for whom alcohol is a problem. But I've had calls about whether you can use wine, and the answer in the short term is yes. But don't get a decent wine like the one I have right here. Go out and get what Red Fox on the show Sanford and Sons called Ripple. Get the worst, disgusting thing you can find for two reasons. One is that you want something that's bitter, because what you can't get from grape juice, and you can get from cheap, gross wine, is that bitter taste that reminds us of the bitterness of the cross and the blood that was shed for Jesus. The other part is that once you've opened the bottle, you will not think twice, and you will stay away from drinking the rest of the bottle when the service is over. So you have communion cups ready, and juice or wine, and if you don't have those, you can use water, just not soda pop, please. In one of my churches, I had a youth director telling the kids, it doesn't matter what you have for communion. You could have cookies and Coca-Cola. And I had a bird. Yes, you can have these other things. It doesn't have to be the exact kind of bread or the exact kind of grape juice or wine. But you want to treat the elements with respect and dignity that they deserve. And Coca-Cola and cookies do not honor the sacrament properly. So have your bread ready, your grape juice, your wine, or your water, and then you'll be ready. And when you do that, you will have a wonderful Des Moines baking experience. Thank you for joining me, and look forward to seeing you again.